In my last video, I shared some personal learning that just kind of come through on my spectrum that I'd worked through. And I had a fellow coach reach out to me and said, "Brilliant video, Claire, but should you really be talking about your own learning? Is that professional? Does that actually display your expertise?" And it's that authenticity, that level of authenticity, and being able to display your vulnerabilities that I'm going to talk about in this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi, and welcome to Oaklaw Door. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. And authenticity, being able to be publicly vulnerable when you're running a business, when you are guiding people through a very personal process of personal development and spirituality. And as I said in the intro, I had a fellow coach reach out to me, and it really, I got caught by surprise, I'm going to be honest, because it's somebody that I've, on a professional level, looked up to. And yet when we had that conversation, there was this utter realization that actually they were still running some of their own programs. They were still running and walking within the matrix of needing to be perfect, needing that perfectionism, needing to be seen as an expert, not giving people the credibility to be able to feel into their own intuition and to actually have the discernment to discover for themselves if they resonate with that person, if they can learn something from that person. And so that was it was really, it was another lesson for me. I'm going to be honest. I was like, whoa, hello. And it's we can use these experiences. And I love how divine puts these experiences on our pathway that highlights these things for us, because as I said, it's somebody, and I do look up to them. Their coaching abilities are absolutely awesome. The way that they walk people through the process that they actually do. But I think what I'd actually done in my own mind, running my own programs, is I had assumed that they were further along on their spiritual journey, their personal development, than what they actually are. Because it was in those moments that I realized that, yeah, they don't have the confidence to be vulnerable, to talk about their current lessons. And I've never been, and I think this is the thing, I have never undertaken any tuition with any guru, with any spiritual leader, with any spiritual guide, where those gurus, those spiritual leaders, those spiritual guides have not openly shown their own vulnerability and their own process of learning. And I don't mean that they've kind of spilled all over the group as they're teaching. That's not what I'm talking about at all. They're very professional, and they hold that space. But when we're doing activities to find our oil, those to find the things that trigger us, to find the things that where we're still running in the matrix, to find those mindsets and those beliefs, those values that no longer function for us, and to find solutions to challenges that we're currently experiencing, and how can we address those challenges from a place of love while still taking aligned and forthright action. They have been part of that process. They've allowed themselves to undertake that process, and they have shared that. They have shared some of the things that have come up for them. And I've always valued that. I've always held that in a value. I've always held that in esteem, because that level of vulnerability, when you are the person holding the group, is really quite awesome and all-inspiring and motivational. It takes away that them and us. It puts everybody on an even keel, while still being able to learn, while you've still got a teacher-learner dynamics, but you've got a level of equality, you've got a level of deep understanding that we're all on a journey, that we're all in a process, and that we all continue to learn, or should be continuing to learn, until the day we die. And to be honest, we do all learn. It's whether we take the lessons. It's whether we actually want to work those in, we want to adapt. It's the lessons are always there. It's what we do with them that is important. It's what we do with them that is part of the journey. And so yet again, I have been able to, through just a very normal, innocent conversation with a colleague, been able to take off another layer, take off another perception, see something from a different angle, see something about myself from a different angle, and to be able to celebrate that and to take ownership of that. And yeah, I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything. There is still so much for me to learn. And yet there is still huge amounts I can teach, I can share, I can guide. And I think this is where we need to be using mindfulness. This is where we need to evaluate where we're coming from when we're looking to our learning and looking to who we learn from. Are we still looking for the person that gives the impression that they have absolutely everything under control and sorted? Or are we looking to the people that are being authentic, but in that authenticity every day striving to be a better version of themselves? Because I know the people I want to learn from, and it's the latter. Because for me, authenticity and vulnerability are two of the hardest steps, I believe, within the personal development journey, within that spiritual pathway. Society has had us believing and had us valuing people that can say it off script, can be perfect, can be the greatest presenter, can have the eloquence with the words, and really sell you the dream. And we all want that dream. We all want the freedom and the confidence to really be our joyful, happiest, most abundant selves. And yet we need to be looking at, how are we going to do that? Are we actually going to recognize the abundance that is freely available to us now? if we're looking for perfectionism. And so I will leave you with that. If you've liked the video, please press that like button, share and subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one. Bye bye.